right, great day. Finally, yesterday got my Kubota B2601 delivered. Very excited. It's an awesome machine. I did a lot of research over the last several months, watched a lot of videos, and decided on the Kubota. And I just want to do a little video, tell you why, and what I liked about the machine. First things first, I guess, we don't need these anymore. So that's done, and welcome Kubota. Anyways, I just want to let you know I'm in central Ontario. I've got about 4 or 5 acres of land. Most of it's forest, as you can see, and I got a lot of cleaning up and maintenance to do. This is my first tractor, so really pleased to have it now because I can actually start working my land a little more. Got a lot of grass as well out on the lake. Little overcast today in Ontario. But let's get to it. Let me walk you through the tractor and some of the features and why I thought it was the best value and the best tractor to buy. Got about 4 acres, as I said, 4 and a bit acres. The L series was a little too big, and the BX I think was just too small. I did a lot of research, checked out John Deere, checked out Massey Ferguson, and then was pleased and fortunate to run into Sid Larkin at BE Larkin Equipment up in Stouffville, Gormley area, and he helped me out, got me the right size tractor I think, and I barely got off the thing since it got here yesterday. Anyways, let's go around the tractor and let me tell you why I love this tractor and why I think it was the right one to buy, and let's go from there. So first of all, I've got about a 1¼ kilometers of driveway up and down through hills through the forest. So of course I had to have myself a snowblower. Picked up the Kubota B2782B snowblower, as well as of course I've got the front loader. And I also picked up a Grapple. This is an HLA Attachments Grapple. I'll talk to you about that a little bit more. HLA is actually an Ontario-based company. They're here in Ontario, and it's a great grapple. I was using it all afternoon and this morning, which is why it's still on the tractor. Anyways, your B2601, 25.5 horsepower on the engine, 19.5 on the PTO. This model, what I like about it, it's got a rear PTO as well as a mid PTO, and which is great because of course I can mow with it. I've got grass, and I've currently been using a different piece of equipment for that. As well, it was really handy because with the snowplow I can now put the snowplow on the front, and I don't have to worry about driving more than 1 kilometer up and down hills looking backwards. So I think that was a big benefit for this. The tractor itself, about 1,670 pounds I think. Put beet juice in the back tires to give it some weight, so I think it's around 2 grand now for weight. Still have to pick out what I want to do for ballast in the back. But let's go through the features of this thing. Nice spacious cockpit, I liked about it. You've got your brake pedals, left side, right side, as well as they lock in. It's got tilt steering here. It's got a parking brake, as well as cruise control. Not sure if I'm going to use cruise control, but it's there. Your lighting is pretty clearly marked and pretty easy to use for your turn signals and your hazards and your headlights. Your dash is pretty simple with big gauges, which I need as I'm getting older, and it just gives you the key things you need to use. The cockpit is designed really nice because all of your implements or your levers are all color coded, and they're very simple and easy to access from the driver's seat. This model, one of the things I liked about it is, and I learned last night and this morning, is I've got a lot of big hills through the forest, and those 3 speeds, low, medium, and high, that comes in really handy. And a lot of tractors, similar tractors to this, from other manufacturers, actually only have 2 speeds or 2 gearings, either a low or a high. So that medium really comes in handy. Your PTO is automatic, it's not clutch driven, and it's independent for both the mid and the rear. Simple push of a lever and you activate your PTOs. You've got the rear PTO, or you can turn both PTOs on at the same time, or the front, or the mid rather, on its own. The 3-point hitch, really nice feature on this model. It's because this is, I guess, considered a compact tractor. It's got positioning, and it's also got a position lock right here. I think you can see it. So when you're raising and lowering implements, you can actually lock it to the position so you know where it was the last time you make another pass. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, really nice. Got your rear differential lock for tough conditions in mud or whatever. The treadle pedal, I'm a big fan of the treadle pedal, and I'll tell you why. About 8 months ago, February, me and the guys were out, we skidoo a lot through the winter here. It is Canada. We've got about 30,000 kilometers of trails out here. My friend had the gentleman that plows his driveway out in the wintertime, was driving a different brand tractor, and unfortunately one day that tractor's got two pedals, a reverse and a forward pedal side by side. And unfortunately, I guess he missed and pushed the forward pedal instead of the reverse pedal, and took the front of the augers of the snow blower straight into the front of my buddy's sled, and chewed it up pretty bad, so much that the insurance wrote it off. So I kind of like the treadle. It's comfortable. I've only been using it yesterday and today, but it's pretty easy. Plus, it's a very deliberate motion. You're either pushing forward or you're stepping back for reverse. There's no chance of missing the wrong pedal when you're trying to drive the tractor. A couple other things this thing has. The cockpit, the seat is great. It's spring loaded, and it moves back and forth. But also what I think is really comfortable and a great addition is it's got a high back for comfort and armrests. And you'll notice that on this model, the joystick for the hydraulics is right there, so it's nice and comfortable. Lay your arm down and you can reach the handle really easily. The other thing that I like about this model is it's got handles on both sides of the fenders, and a lot of the tractors just have a handle on one side, so I can pull myself up and in from either side. Another couple of things, nice to have a cup holder on the other side here, as you can see, because I drink a lot of coffee or at least a lot of water in the middle of the day. Comes with all of its safety gear, the hazard lights, headlights, your hazard symbol, which you need here in Ontario. Not sure about other places. Little toolbox. Wish it was a bigger toolbox, but it's good size. Keeps my pins in it. The other thing that's nice is I picked up a magnetic work light, and that way I don't have to worry about trying to clamp mount any types of work lights on. If it's magnetic, nice strong outdoor work light that I can stick to the ROPS. I can turn it whatever way I want to look. And what's really nice about this model is it's got a 12-volt plug-in, and the work light I bought's got a nice 12-foot cord, and it runs in, it plugs into 12-volt. So it's perfect. I can plug it in when I need it, take it out when I don't. What else about the tractor? 3-point hitch. It's got the stabilizing bars, which is really nice and a lot easier than a friend of mine. He's got a standard 3-point hitch, and this thing's a lot easier. Comes with a cap on it, tow bar. There's a shield on the PTO as well, so you can keep that done. Super easy. Hydraulic fluid check is here, and the fill is there. What else on the back here? Really nice addition. As you see, I've got a grapple on the front here. Also got the snow blower. I think it's worth it, and I'm really glad I did, but I had the dealership install a third function valve on the front, because some of these implements, such as the grapple, the snow blower, and I'm sure others, require that third function valve in order to work properly. And I thought it just made sense for the little extra money to put that in and get it done. And as you can see, they did a nice clean job at Larkin. Tucked it in really nice for me, and got her all set up for me. A couple other things here. You've got the ability to close on that 3-point hitch, so you can lock your implements in place when you're driving. Also, you can lock the front loader if you want. What else do we have here? Talked about the third function valve. Nice thing about Kubota on their joystick and on their hydraulic valves is this thing's really nice. You can actually corner on this joystick, so you've got forward and backwards and side to side for lifting and lowering the front end, as well as dumping and curling. But what's really nice about the valve mechanism on this is you can actually corner on it as well. So at the same time as you're lifting, for example, you can corner in and you can curl while you're lifting at the same time, or when you're dumping, or dump at the same time you're lowering, or vice versa. And it's a really nice smooth function, because instead of having to go forward, stop, curl in, go forward, curl in, you can actually do it in one smooth motion. These levers as well, I just want to say, I've been using them just since yesterday, but they are smooth as butter. Nice and easy to roll into gear or to change your settings. They're very smooth back and forth between them. What else do we have? Like we talked about the we have the cruise control, but we also have steering control here, so you can drop your steering wheel if you want. You can position it differently, and we can take a look under the hood. Another nice function of the Kubota. Hood comes with a hood stand. Very easy to lift. Everything is simple and right where you need to see it, so your dipstick for your oil is easy accessible. You use a funnel, you can fill up the oil if you need to. I really like the way they've laid things out because your battery is right front and center, your coolant overflow. Very easy to lift your screen out for your radiator to make sure you keep it clear and minimize the chance of overheating the engine. And came with a big guard out front to make sure that when I'm rolling out through the back forest, I'm minimizing the chance of knocking things into the front of my engine. The unit itself, you've probably seen on a few different videos the fact that Kubota puts their tie rods in front of the axle. As you can see here, Kubota has kind of responded to that, and they put some nice firm steel guards in front of those tie rods to protect them. And I certainly like the fact that they're even with the axle. This tractor is really nice. It's got 12.8 inches of clearance, I believe, which is going to be very helpful when I head out in the back there. What else do we have here? I think I told you I put beet juice in the tires to give it a little extra weight. Got the third punction valve. One other thing you probably want, especially if you're living in a climate like we do up here, we get about -25, -30 during the winter time. So of course I had them install a block heater here to help me out in the winter. Okay, brackets on there and ready for the snowblower when the time comes, which is not going to be too long now. Another great function, as you can see, is I've got the quick attach for the front implements. I love it. Tried it out a couple of times yesterday and this morning. It works really great. But I will tell you, it's just as people mentioned, very important that you level your implements when you drop them on the ground. That's why you see I've got wood under them now, because you keep them level, you can scoop right under them and lock them in real easy. If you're on uneven ground, you're going to find that one side catches and then you got to get off the tractor and move the implement over to try to get the other one to catch. So anyways, learning things as I go. It's my first tractor and so far so good. The Grapple, loving the Grapple. Did a lot of research, and definitely with, you know, all the debris and the bush and the stuff on the forest floor and dead wood, this Grapple is awesome. Really sharp, firm, it's strong, big thick steel, works great. And as you can see, did a little grapple work myself this last night and this morning. You see all the bush over there, that used to come right through to here. And as you can see, I cleared that out pretty easily with that Grapple. It worked really good. Put it in 4-wheel drive, just dug it under ever so slightly to dig up the roots off of all that bush. It picked up rocks, stones, old debris wood, just pushed it no problem. And in fact, I even had a big boulder which I kind of gripped under with the Grapple and lifted it up a bit and was able to push it forward out of the way with the tractor, so I can, you know, start driving through here a little easier without worrying about hitting anything. Anyways, I thought what I would do, I think I've got most of the things here. Oh, the other thing that was nice is the Orange Leaf event. Got a 2-year warranty on this and 6 years on the powertrain. And I think that's worth a lot of value right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire this thing up. I'm going to head up the driveway a little bit. Want to test out the Grapple a little bit, and I'll do a little piece on that and show you a few things so you can see how it works. Okay? Thanks. Thanks, Kubota. Got a lot of dead wood out here. Up a little further and we'll see if we can find a few things to test the Grapple. Just wanted to stop here for a minute. Take a look at that hill up there. We've got hills up and down at varying different angles or different rises. And this is kind of what's really nice about having 3 different gearing is I can go medium through some of these, but when I get to a hill like this, these tractors are made for torque, and you leave it medium and try to get to that top of the hill, and the tractor will eventually stop somewhere up the hill. Now I'm able to drop it into that low gear, and I have no problem getting up that hill. All right, and you can see, you know, over the years I got a lot of grappling to do. All along the road, you've just got a lot of debris and bush and old logs and deadwood that need to be cleaned up. All right, let's go find something to grapple. Place, I just wanted to try out the grapple for you folks. As you can see, you know, we've got a long driveway, and probably like a lot of folks, especially in the wintertime, you get storms and you get a lot of trees coming down over the driveway. And you know, you walk in, you get your chainsaw. We've never had a tractor before, and you cut up as much as you have to and try to drag it off to the side. And you know, over 10-20 years, things just keep piling up, and you get a lot of debris on the side, which, you know, you'd like to clean up and maintain your land, make it look nice. And so, you know, all of this stuff is here. And now that I've got a grapple, you know, all of these bush and all this deadwood that we've left here for a while, we can actually start cleaning up and make things look a little nicer. More wood there, here, and I tell you, it gets pretty cold in the winter, so you don't want to be out here longer than you have to. Some more here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test out the grapple, show you folks how it works, and hopefully it's helpful. And I'm not going to drag it all the way back down to my burn site or anything. I just want to move it so that you folks can see how this thing works. So there's a little bit of wood over there. We'll grab it, and maybe some over there. Not sure, and we'll see how this thing works. Anyways, HLA Attachments, again, really happy with this. I actually was looking at a different model or a different manufacturer, but this thing is really sharp. It worked great yesterday and this morning. Nice thick steel tines, really strong piston on it. So let's give it a whirl. Let's fire up the tractor and see how she does. Safety first, of course. We're in neutral, everybody's good. I'm in four-wheel drive. Park it up, brake off. We're going to throw her into low, nice and easy. We're going to turn on our third function valve, which is kind of nice. It's just a button there. Lift her up a bit. Nice, it's got a down all right built in there. We've got the up and the down, so let's open up our grapple. Let's see if we can pick up a few of those logs. Maybe give her a little bit of gas. Grab there. Let's drag it off, and we'll just throw it back here for now. I'll have to grab it again later. Okay, we'll lift her up a bit. Let's open up the claws. Let's dump her down. What else we got here? grapple work. I just want to show how it works. I didn't want to, you know, put half-an-hour video on there for you, but just take a look at that grapple. This thing is great. I was digging up roots with these tines yesterday, and as you can see, you can pick up a lot of debris a whole lot easier than, you know, firing it by hand, you know. This thing is really well built. I'm really happy with the design of it. A lot of tines, they intersect to each other as they go in, and it's got one main piston in the middle. Some models have two on the sides. I kind of like the simplicity of this, plus the fact that it allows you to grab pretty nicely, and those are pretty thick steel tines. Anyways, that's my B2601. Pretty happy with it. Actually, I'm pretty elated with it. Thing works great. It's running nice, and it's going to do, I think it's just the right size for my property. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, especially for you folks considering a new tractor. I did, like I said, months of research on this and different brands, and I think this is definitely dollar for dollar, good reliable unit and great value for the price. All right. One last thing with Kubota, what I really like about the quick attach before you folks go, I noticed with some of the other brands and manufacturers, they have their own type of quick attach, and it's actually very proprietary, which means you basically have to buy attachments or implements made by that company. What I love about Kubota is it's all standard. So, you know, as you notice, I got the snowblower. It's a Kubota snowblower, but I was able to go to HLA and get a great grapple, and they're all standard. They all fit. So you've got, you know, you kind of open up the world of all those different fabricators that are making really good quality implements that you can actually take a look at, and you don't have to worry about, you know, it matching or fitting, because you're not forced to do, you know, one proprietary brand of attachments or implements. Anyways, that's it. Have a great day. I hope this was helpful for you folks, and that's my B2601. Love that tractor. You got a lot of work to do, as you can see, and I can't wait to get at it.